Okay, we're recording right now.
Okay. I grew up, my early part of my childhood, my dad was in the military. He was stationed at Kelly Air Force Base. I lived on a street called Irma, which is right off of Old Highway 90. And we have a business here. It's called Cooremans Supply. Business has been there for 42 years. When I was a child, though, it was a grocery store. It was called Foods. And when I was a kid, my mother, I used to go with my mother. This was like in the middle 60s. We used to come to the grocery store to buy milk and eggs, bologna, bread, whatever. And I wouldn't have thought years down the road that this would become an auto parts and I would be part of that. So it has a lot of meaning to me, and the fact that there were other families, military families that lived, you know, right off of in the area. And I also have, my father used to bring us to a drive-in. It was a sort of like a food drive-in. It was called the Derby, and it was also called Davila Drive-In. There were two of them, and I remember the car hops coming out and setting your food, a hamburger, whatever it was, on a tray. And so there's a lot of memories that I have that are very dear to me, and on Old Highway 90. That's all I got for you guys. I hope that's okay.
That's perfect. So was there anything else that brought you out here today?
Well, to support, you know, remembering, to support my husband, obviously, and to support a lot of the businesses along the stretch of Old Highway 90. So that's what brought me out here today. It's really close to my heart. A lot of sentimental value in this highway.
What were some of the other places that you used to go to on Old Highway?
Well, believe it or not, Del Bravo used to be across the street. And I remember my father taking me there once a week. I would go buy my little 45 records. I think at the time it might have been 75 cents. But that was the highlight of my week. My father would take me to the record shop to buy the little 45. And also there was a grocery store. It's no longer there, but it was called DNR. And we used to do grocery shopping there also. Gosh, I'm trying to think of, there was Ben's Supermarket also. It was further down. We used to have the Cleaners and Davila's Quick Stop. They used to have it was a convenience store, and I like that because my mother would walk us. We would walk and buy those little, I think they were called moon pies. And they were the biggest things I've ever seen. I've seen them since, and they've really like shrunk them. But that was one of the other businesses that I do remember, you know, frequenting when I was a child.
Were there places on Old Highway 90 where you would go to listen to music or go dancing or nightlife?
Well, for myself, no, but my parents were big on dancing. There was a nightclub. The building's still there. I think it's 411 Old Highway 90, but it was called El Camaroncito, and that was like a club, and my parents used to go and, you know, dance like on the weekends and stuff. Myself, no, because I was too young.
Right.
But as far as listening to music, I used to go to Del Bravo, like I was telling you, because I was big into, you know, the little 45s. And, you know, when I was in the 6th grade, I was like 11, 12, and I thought I was real old, you know. Thought I was cool. I wanted to be like a teenager. But that's about the only thing that I can think of.
And is there something that you wish I would have asked you about Old Highway 90, or is there something that you think people should know when they think about Old Highway 90?
Well, to me personally, I think that they never should have changed the name, especially the fact that it is a historic road. I mean, it's been here, I believe, as far as them naming it, it was probably in the early 1900s. And before that, I understand was called the Old Spanish Trail. But, I mean, the military base, you know, there was a lot of people that frequented this stretch, and I just think that they did an injustice to renaming it, and nothing personal to the family. I think if it would have been anyone, we would have objected to the name change. And the fact that we did voice our concerns, the impacted community now. I'm talking about all the businesses. They didn't want it, and they voiced that to the council at the time, but ignored. Outside forces came in and changed the name. But that's pretty much the thing that really bothers me, that they did that. Something historic that it just was tossed aside, and especially in light of the fact that we're celebrating our 300th birthday. How ironic is that? You know, I mean, really, they just discarded it like it's nothing. So it means a lot, though, to me.
And what do you think is so special about Old Highway 90 that really makes it its own unique?
I think the small town feel, the generational businesses, the fact that so many people have such fond memories of this stretch of highway. I really would like to see it developed again to what it once was, because it was beautiful. I mean, I love the stretch, and I hope and pray that maybe that can happen.
Well, that was fantastic.
Was it? Okay. I was nervous, but